All right. Hello, my Algebra 2 crew. So today we're going to be doing the part 2 of 5.1. So this is kind of a mix-up of solving with rational exponents and also simplifying when you have negative rational exponents and just kind of going about solving roots as well. Okay, so for number 1, it says find the real nth root of a. So I want the nth root. So I'm going to do third root of a, so of negative 216. Okay, so the third root of a, so the third root of negative 216, we're looking for what number times itself 3 times is going to give me negative 216. And this is giving you a little hint. It says real, so there should be no i's involved here, no imaginary numbers. So what number times itself 3 times is going to give me negative 216? And that's negative 6. So that is my final answer for that one. Okay, so for number 3, same idea, find the nth root. So I'm doing the 5th root of a, which is 243. So we're saying what number times itself 5 times is going to give me 243, and that is 3. Final answer. Okay, I'm going to leave 2 and 4 for you guys to try on your own, and we're going to look at 1 and 2 of simplifying negative rational exponents now. Okay, so the deal with this is when we have a negative exponent, we relocate it into the denominator and make it positive. So we're going to write it as 1 over 32 to the positive 3/5. Okay, so now I can do power over root, so it's going to be 1 over, and then power over root, so that's 32 to the 3rd power, and the root is 5. So we're going to do the 5th root of 32. So 1 over the 5th root of 32 is 2 raised to the 3rd. So it's going to be 1 over 2 times 2 times 2, 8. Final answer, 1/8. Okay. Same idea for the next one. I'm going to just change my pen color so that you can distinguish between the two because I write kind of large on this program. All right, so we've got 9 to the negative 1/2. So that is going to be rewritten as 1 over, because it's a negative, I relocate it down into the denominator and make it a positive exponent, 9 to the positive 1/2. All right, so now power over root, it's going to be 1 over the square root of 9 raised to the 1st power. Power over root, this is a square root. So the square root of 9 is 3. 3 to the 1st is 3. 1/3 is my final answer. All right, so you guys try number 3. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of show you how we would solve the following equations and what we're going to do with solving when we have this. So just to kind of talk a little bit back story of things like this. If we had x squared equals 16, you would take the square root, right? And don't forget plus or minus when you do the square root. So we would say x is equal to plus or minus 4. Okay, so the square root undoes squared. Okay, so when we take that idea that the square root undoes squared, we're going to apply that over here. So first thing, I'm going to solve for x. So first I divide by 4. So I get x to the 5th equals 32. And then to get rid of raised to the 5th, it's kind of like how we would get rid of squared. We took the square root. We're going to take the fifth root this time so that the 5 and the 5 cancel out, and we get x equals, and now here's the deal. If your exponent is odd, we don't have to put plus or minus. We only have to put plus or minus when it's an even exponent, okay? So when it's an odd exponent, we don't need to do plus or minus. So x equals, what's the fifth root of 32? So what number times itself 5 times is going to give you 32? And that's 2. Final answer. Okay. All right, now on to the next one. We've got number 3. So I want to solve for x. So this whole side is being cubed or raised to the third. So I want to first get rid of that exponent of 3. And the way that I get rid of an exponent of 3 is with a root of 3. So with the cubed root. So the 3's are going to cancel. The cube root and the exponent of 3 are going to cancel. So we get x plus 5 equals, and now because once again that was an odd exponent, we don't need to do plus or minus. The cube root of 8, so what number times itself 3 times is going to give me 8? That's 2. And now we just solve for x, subtract 5, x equals -3. Final answer. Okay. So I'm going to pause the video right here, and I'm going to let you try the remaining ones. So I skipped some of them up at the top, okay? And I want you to go up until number 6, and then I'm going to start with number 7 in the next video, okay?